Hello friends, and welcome back to another What I Eat in a Day video. I hope you're all doing well. First off, thank you so much for all the love, engagement, comments, likes on my last What I Eat in a Day. Honestly, I knew these videos were going to be popular, and I know that you guys love them, and I was really excited for myself to bring them back, but honestly I could not have foreseen just how much joy you guys would express and tell me that they bring you, and how excited you all are, and it really does warm my heart. So thank you so much for that. I'm stoked to bring them back as well, and I'm glad you're enjoying them. And I put up a poll to ask you guys which day you would like them, and so far I think either random or Saturday morning is winning. So I'm going to kind of just see where that poll takes us. Sorry, I'm just gonna have a cup of tea. That first sip of coffee or tea in the morning, there is nothing that hits quite like it, is there? But anyway, yeah, I'm kind of thinking about having them go live on a Saturday morning, and then when I can't get them live on a Saturday, just a random day throughout the week that's convenient for me. You guys seem to be on board with that, which is great. And yeah, so welcome. It's a working day for me today. I'm actually due to start in, I would say, about 5-10 minutes time. I've just whipped myself up a very quick breakfast, which I will insert now. Breakfast is a very quick and simple one. I start work in about 10 minutes. So I'm gonna have the same yogurt as I had last time. I think it's pronounced Faya. It says it on there. Pronounced Faya. So now I know how to finally pronounce this yogurt. But anyway, when it comes to point value, this is free according to my app. So feel free to check it on your own, just in case you're on a different plan or whatever. But this is like 50 calories a serving if you are calorie counting. So it's literally nothing. Like, honestly, it's nothing. I'm also going to rinse some berries. Sometimes I get asked, why do I rinse some berries and not others? It's because sometimes when I open these, I'll rinse them and put them back. So sometimes I don't need to rinse them. So you might say, like, why does she sometimes rinse them? When I open them from scratch, I do tend to rinse them if I'm not being lazy. I don't always do it, but the majority of the time I do. And I have this handy little dish. And I also have some plums. I'm going to cut off a plum. That didn't go well. Normally I would have this for a snack later, but there's just something about plum and peach in yogurt that I absolutely love. And if I fancy another one later, I'll have another one later. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's fruit at the end of the day. But I do tend to love to snack on these in the afternoon when I want a little bit of sugar, but I'm not quite fancying chocolate. I'm not pointing, by the way. I'm giving you guys the point value. I'm just maintaining my weight, but a lot of you said it was useful, so thank you for that. So I pop my yogurt in as well, and I'm also going to have some of the berries. And I'll obviously leave these on the counter and I'll munch on the rest as the day goes on, most likely. And then I'm going to use my honey of choice, which I'm going to point at 1 point because we did this last time. It's no different. I'm not going to bother weighing it or doing a teaspoon serving. I'm literally just going to have a light squirting, and we are done. So that would be marked as a point for me if I was pointing. Again, I'm not, but a very simple yogurt breakfast. I'm also going to make a, what do I fancy? I'm going to have a cup of tea today. Leave that to brew for a few moments. As you can see, I'm just sat with my very colourful plate of fruit and yogurt. How inviting does this look? And also, speaking of the last videos, you guys seem to prefer the chatty kind of vloggy format, especially as soon as the vlogs are kind of dwindling out now. I felt it was a good way to include you guys in my life, talk to you about my day, what I'm up to, what I'm wearing, which you guys, if you've been long-time viewers of the channel, you will have seen this t-shirt. I've had it, I would say, at least 5 years now. I love it so much. It's a bright orange, right up my street, and it's Tommy Hilfiger. And these are a new find. These are some really nice Bershka combat pants, very All Saints, very comfy, very slouchy. So I have those on. And also, because I'm not completely mad, again, we do live in the UK. We had hailstone all night last night. It was thunderstorming. It was crazy. I also have this lovely, this is new actually, This is the same hoodie that I was wearing last time, but in a different colourway. So I have it in grey, which I got last year, and I invested in the stone colour one because I wear that one so much and I want it in the stone, and it's well oversized. Could have done with it in the size 6 or XS or even double XS because it is massive, but it is so snuggly, it keeps me warm. So yeah, that is the outfit situation. I'm going to finish my yogurt, drink my brew and get on with my working day, and then I'll check in with you about midday. We'll have some lunch, and then for dinner tonight, who knows, the world is my oyster. I have chicken, I have mince, really not sure what we're doing yet. I might look to the app for inspiration just to see if anything grabs me. If not, I will just whip. What's up, Kiki? I'll just whip something up, so we'll see. But thanks for joining, and let's get on with the day. I really thought we were going to have nice weather today. Like, woke up, it was lovely and sunny. Yesterday was absolutely ridiculous. I think I mentioned this before. So I thought, you know what, I'll go to the shop. As soon as I put my jacket on, it like starts. And I'm like, you know what, no. So I'm going to have leftovers for lunch, which kind of is planned, maybe kind of not. But ultimately, I love a bit of leftovers for lunch. Like, it never disappoints me. So last night I whipped up some M&S chicken. I say I whipped it up, it came pre-seasoned. I popped it in the oven, and alongside it I had some salad and some flatbread and a few french fries on the side. For some reason my appetite yesterday just wasn't great, and I didn't end up eating the majority of it. Like, I have quite a lot of it left. Now this is the Asian style chicken thighs from Marks and Spencer's. I can search for them on the app. We've already put the box into recycling, unfortunately, so I don't know if I'll be able to give you a complete accurate value. But what I can do is let you know what a chicken thigh would cost, and then that way you can just add a few points maybe for seasoning, for glaze, that kind of thing. But I am going to see. No, it's not here. I could look on my calorie counter. Yeah, so it's here on calorie counter, and half the pack is 298 calories, which sounds about fair. I would say you could work that out in terms of point value on the app, just by putting the calories in. So you could definitely do that if you want a point value. Again, not being mega strict, particularly numerate. So now I would definitely say there is half a box here, maybe a little bit more. I'm not going to need a full half of this, so I'm going to portion out what I would like, and then I will kind of gauge it. But again, if I was being strict, I would check out the point value for this. I'd work it out on the calculator because I find that quite helpful. But anyway, this is a glazed chicken breast. As you can see, it still has some of the cheese on it from last night. And I'm just going to simply warm this up and have it with some flatbread. Alright, so whilst that's in the microwave, this is the pita bread that I'm going to be having with it. And I'm pretty sure this will scan on the barcode scanner. Let's have a quick look. I reckon these would be about 4 points each if I had to guess, but again, haven't done this in a while. 3 points. So yeah, that's perfectly fine. I'm going to pop that in the toaster. Might break that in half and pop this in the other side just to make that a little bit easier. For me, and I'm totally guessing here, this isn't going to be any more than 6 points. That's what I'm going to gauge it in at. Again, you know, if you want to be more specific, or if you just want to be better in point value, opt for a chicken breast. Season this yourself. It's probably really easy to do, and go from there. I'm just going to have that little leftover bit from last night, and then I'm just going to pour on a little bit of the glaze just because it's delicious. Yeah, I mean, again, this is what I'm saying, there are plenty of better ways to use up 3, 7, 10 points, but use chicken breast, then it's free. Do yourself a little glaze, you might spend about 3 points, and then with your flatbread, you know, you could do that accordingly. But this is what I'm going to eat. I'm going to go and enjoy it, and we'll check back in later for a snack. It's now 3 o'clock, lunch was great, and I'm about to have a coffee break, and I am fancying something quite comforting and sweet. The weather has clicked, like honestly, I feel like we're still in autumn at this rate. Honestly, the weather we've had is insane. But anyway, I'm going to put a coffee on, so I'm going to fill the kettle. And I made some millionaire shortbread for the first time the other day, and I am not kidding you when I say one of the best bakes I've ever done. Don't ask me how, because shortbread I feel like can be quite tricky to master. It was the perfect amount of shortness. It was crumbly, it was buttery, it was soft, it was perfection really, and it was that good that I intended to take them for family and friends. Didn't end up doing it. I kept them here, and Andy, myself and the kids, we ate all of them. We gave a couple away to my sister who came to visit. Apart from that, we kind of squirreled them away, and we are down to the last one. So I'm gonna have a look at the size of it and cut it up, but I cannot even fathom the amount of point values that is. I would guess, I mean, we can search caramel shortbread in the app and see what comes up, like a millionaire shortbread. I'm sure places like Thornton's and Costa and all that jazz have an equivalent, and we can start having a look and we can weigh it out. But again, there are probably better ways to spend your points, but I'm maintaining, so I'm gonna have a shortbread. So the kettle is boiling, coffee is in the mug, and here is the last shortbread. Honestly, like, look at this. Look at that layer. Like, I don't want to toot my own horn, guys, but that layer is wonderful, like, honestly. So I'm not going to be a total savage. I am going to save Andy half of this because the kids aren't huge fans. So earlier when I said myself and the kids, Layla had a little bit. Harrison doesn't like it, so it was me, Andy and Layla, and Layla took one in her lunchbox today, so she's already had hers. But this is quite a hefty size, so I'm going to cut it in half and pop it onto a dessert plate, and it's going to be delicious. I cannot wait. I'm going to cut this in half. And I know Andy loves the corner, so I'm going to give him the corner. I'm going to weigh this out. So I'm just going to type into the app millionaire shortbread. I found some M&S millionaire shortbreads with caramel, and I'm changing it to grams. So that is 44 grams. This is going to be hefty, guys. It's going to be hefty. And as I've been saying, there are many ways that you could spend 10 points on something. However, I'm going to track it and have it anyways. I just wanted to see if you guys enumerate value for it. If I was to track this and track the rest of my food today, it would give me 9 points for my dinner, which I think is totally doable, especially if you consider that you have weeklies as well. You could definitely take 5 of your weeklies to have a treat like this, because it's not something I'd have daily, but well worth it for me. Time for dinner, and I'm gonna make some makeshift kobeda slash kofta kebabs. So I have some mince here. Now I'm using 12% because I'm on maintenance. If I was trying to be, again, quite strict about things, I would use 5% mince, and I really did stick to 5% mince for the majority, but I'm on maintenance. I'm going to switch up to 12. I quite like the flavour that a bit more fat gives, especially when it comes to kebabs. So that is the mince I'm using, but again, it's easily substituted for something that's a bit more kind of calorie conscious. I have an onion here, some lemon I'm going to zest, fresh parsley, some fresh mint as well, some garlic, and I have a very, very specific blend of spices here, which is paprika, curry powder, cumin, coriander, and I also have a nice big bowl here that I'm going to put everything into and just give it a good mix and work it into kebab shaped pieces. And I have chopped up the onion, garlic and the greens with some good quality olive oil. I'm just going to pop that in, and before I get in there with my hands, I am just going to give it a quick mix, and then I will season with salt and pepper before adding the rest of the spices. And then the lemon is more for when, just before I put it in the oven, I will squeeze some lemon on top, and then just as it comes out, I'll squeeze more lemon onto the cooked kebabs, and it will just give it a really lovely freshness. Such a fantastic one to transition into the summer as well. You know, it's great for barbecue, something that you can prepare in advance. Very, very low effort, but the flavour is really impactful, and you can have it with salad, with chips, with flatbread, jacket potatoes, rice. This is an optional step, and it's like, you don't have to do this. That would be delicious absolutely on its own, but I'm gonna add a tablespoon of korma paste to this because I think it will add such a lovely colour but also a really lovely flavour as well. And I'm gonna add the spices and then give that a final knead. And now I'm gonna take little mounds of this spiced mince and just make them into little, in fact, you know what, I'm gonna do them longer. I'm gonna do long Covid shaped ones just because for ease. There's no really sort of technical way to do this. Normally you would put it on a skewer and you would kind of do that up the skewer. I don't know what the term for that is. But unfortunately I don't own a skewer, and so I'm gonna do a makeshift shape on my tray. The kebabs are out of the oven. I wish you could smell this, guys. It smells so great. So I have half of one of the flatbreads I had before, which would be 1.5 points. I'm going to point this mince out at 5 points, 6 points, but again, not being numerate. I know I keep saying that, guys. It's just for people that are joining late in the video. I don't want them to think that, you know, this is how to follow stuff properly. If you do follow the plan, then please do check and buy probably a more calorie conscious mince than 12%. We've made some rice. We put a tiny bit of saffron in there as well for flavour. It's turned it a beautiful golden colour, and again it's going to add a lovely flavour. I have some M&S deli style coleslaw, which we can look at later when I point this all up properly, and I've sliced some cucumber as well. We've had dinner. It was really delicious, really simple. I whipped up some rice. We had it with the bread, as you saw, and the cucumber, and it was really lovely. I've just made myself a cup of tea and I'm just munching on some grapes, and that is it for me. I am very unlikely to have anything else now. I'm quite full actually. So yeah, I'm gonna call it a day, but thank you so much for watching. If you do want the recipe and the spice blend for the kebabs, please do let me know and I'll make sure to put that in the comments. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one.